And we're live. First down, Rams. Rams house and payout time. We're live. We're talking Rams. We're talking Lions. We're talking NFL playoffs. We're talking injuries. Well, there's so much we're talking about. But most importantly, you are here with us, whether you're watching live or on the replay. We're so thankful that you are here, coming in hot. And Rams house. Are you ready for this episode of First Down Rams?
I'm so ready. You were just talking about all the things that we could talk about, all the different talking points. And I got to say, I'm grateful not only to be in season watching meaningful football games, but I'm grateful that we're not in that weird period of like end of June when there's nothing to talk about and you're just trying to find something. Like we're in the midst of a really fun season and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Absolutely. Oh, this has been one of the best Rams seasons ever. Like it's been so fun, start to finish. I honestly, like, if I compare this to even like the 2021 season, which was a really fun season in its own right, there's something really special about this year, Stafford and McVay and all the storylines, like even I get excited when like Xavier Smith caught 3 catches the other week. I was like, Xavier Smith, that's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like these players that we've been following for years, and when they have that big play or something that happens, you're just like, man, I'm stoked for this.
I know. It's so cool. There's so many cool stories, like so many people that you're bought into, invested into, and like you've been following them for a while. Like a guy like Xavier Smith you're talking about, like being a UPS driver just a few years ago, and now on the Rams, like the Byron Young Dollar General storyline. Like there's so many cool narratives and storylines with this team in particular, and it's such an organic team. It's such a fun year.
Totally. Hey, speaking of organic people that are really cool, let's welcome in Rams Showcase, aka
Sheriff Joe. What's up, Sheriff? How you doing?
And we got Muabdib here as well. Says return of the purple shirt.
Oh yes, it's returned, and it's not like a week we're playing a purple team where everybody freaked out. So
yeah,
I think we're good this time.
Yeah. Joe is saying 2025 Rams is a special group. This is certainly a team we will remember forever. In 20 years, we will say, like, remember when we had Puka and Davante together? Yeah, no jokes. Yeah. No jokes.
So cool.
One of the OGs, Willie Bowen, in the chat. Appreciate you as always. Really? He's saying the Rams will dominate and win. Horns up. Love that.
Love that. Yeah. Would love to see that. What are your thoughts on this game so far? Like we've had not a lot of days to get prepared for it, like excitement level, but like it's early in the week and I'm already so excited for this game.
The Rams-Lions rivalry since the trade has been a lot of fun. And I asked a question to Sheriff Joe on Rams Showcase, and I hope he has fun answering it, as I love his queso segment of his shows. I feel like this week, compared to previous Rams-Lions game, hasn't had as much hype.
I'm with you there.
Maybe it picks up towards the end of the week, but maybe it's because like the last time the Rams-Lions played, it was week 1, right? Or the time before that, it was a playoff game. So maybe that's a part of it. But like this is actually a really huge game for both the Rams and the Lions for the playoffs this year. If the Lions lose this game, their path to the playoff gets a lot harder, right? If the Rams lose this game, depending on what happens with Seattle, the path to the division gets harder, the path to number 1 seed gets harder. So there's stakes in this game, and that's all you can ask for week 15 of the NFL season. Now,
yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
The one other thing I'll say is, whether there's hype from the media or anything like that, I know that Ram fans are stoked for this game. And I'm comfortably speaking for every Ram fan out there that we are hyped.
Yeah. Well, see, I agree with you. It's kind of crazy that it does feel like the meaning in this game, just beyond the storyline of Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford, is deeper than what people think and is more impactful than what people think. Because as you mentioned, like the Lions are legitimately fighting for a playoff spot right now. The NFC is that good to where if they lose a couple games, like they may miss the playoffs. And that would have sounded crazy before this year started. And then for the Rams, number 1 seed, obviously it's not the end all be all, but that's massive. But even if they don't get the number 1 seed, like you have the Seahawks and Niners right below you in your own division. If you fall down to third in your own division, like there's so many stakes to this game. But I think a big thing with the reason it doesn't have as much of that like to it that we're used to, or like that hype behind it. Obviously, it's not a playoff game. It's not week 1. It feels like Stafford is very solidified as a Rams quarterback right now.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff is very much solidified as the Lions quarterback. It doesn't feel as much like a playing their former teams. This is a massive game. Like all the emotions of them returning to the stadium that they once played for. Like it feels like they're legitimately like Goff is a Lion, Stafford is a Ram. It's been that way. And I feel like that's also a reason part of like why maybe the common like NFL fan may not be as into it, because it's like we've seen this matchup and these two teams firmly have an identity at their quarterback. So that's kind of my
I
thoughts.
agree. That's definitely well said. And there's not as much of a like the breakup bowl, right? Like that narrative to it, right? This is the like, okay, we broke up and we're seeing other people bowl. Like,
yeah, this is exactly like my sentiment that Chip Joback says. Yes, it's no longer former Rams QB Jared Goff. It's now Lions QB Jared Goff.
Well said.
And it does feel like, I mean, last time he played for the Rams was 2020, technically 2021 because it was in the playoffs, but it does feel like it's been forever since Goff has been in a Lions uniform. And same with Stafford. Like you remember these guys now as like, oh, Goff is a Lion, Stafford's a Ram. And so that's definitely kind of where I'm at with that kind of view on it there.
Yeah. Got a couple of comments coming in here. We got strikers here having a good time. Always a pleasure. Muabdeeb saying, get Goff uncomfortable and it'll be a quick game. We know Goff, he doesn't like to be, touched, right? He's not a touchy guy.
Yeah.
Rams are going to lose 2 times in 4 days. Oh, Vaughn Poppin. Okay. That's a hot take. Expect the D-line to really put pressure on Goff. Yeah. What are your thoughts? I know some Ram fans are kind of disappointed with the Rams D-line as of late. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely kind of agree with what like some of the fans are saying. You obviously have some of those fans that are like super over the top about it. I'm not quite to that point. I think like when you look at where the Rams defensive line was playing in the last 3 or 4 games of last season compared to what they're doing now, I would say that they were better. They were producing more than what they are right now. But even in saying that, I'm not saying that this Rams pass rush is bad or needs to have an addition in any way. It's just like, that there's better football in them. And I think we still haven't seen the best defensive line game from the Rams yet.
Yeah.
And you're just hoping to see it turn on. Even a guy like Jared Verse, like he impacts plays all the time. But at this point in the year, last year, he was blowing up teams and like making plays left and right. And I don't want to discount what he's doing right now. I think there's definitely something to be said about the attention he's getting compared to last year and all of that. But there's definitely an element to it in my mind where I'm like, I know that this Rams defensive line can play better. And maybe to me, it feels like in big games like this or even a playoff game, that feels like when the Rams defensive line usually wakes up. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. But what are your thoughts on all of it?
Yeah, I do believe it's the one unit on the Rams that their ceiling is so high and they're still not there yet. Yes. We've seen glimpses of it, but and people forget it's still a young D-line, right? Like people think Kobe Turner has been in the league for like 10 years. Like he's still a young player. Same with Byron Young, Braden Fisk, and Jared Verse and everyone else that kind of rotates in there. But I'm optimistic that when the crunch time comes, this Ram D-line, they're gonna make the play that needs to be made. And we've seen now, like the Panthers did a really good job of it. Like, get the ball out quick. We don't want to throw the ball as much as like try not to throw it too much, right? Because if this Rams pass rush gets in a rhythm and gets moved like in a groove, they'll wreck you, right? They will wreck your offense. And I think that's coming. I think it's coming. Yeah. I really do. Yeah.
I agree with you. It definitely doesn't feel like they don't have enough talent for it. Like they have talent everywhere. Even guys that are like, you look at Desjuan Johnson that just came in last game who like has barely played, like he's a talented guy in there. And Josiah Stewart, I still feel like doesn't get talked about enough. The rookie edge rusher for the Rams, the way they use him. So like, I definitely think that we have enough talent, and it's just a matter of like getting that to consistently dominate again. Kind of to your point of what you were saying, it feels like the Rams pass rush set themselves up with such a high ceiling at the end of last year to where even with how well they're playing, it's like I feel like they can show a little bit more. And that just speaks to what they were able to do last year and the bar that they set for themselves. But I by no means think that like the Rams need to add somebody to this pass rush or change anything up. I do think that those games are coming for sure.
Yeah, we don't need to call Philip Rivers and ask him to play defensive end right now.
Yeah, I was kind of considering that though. Like, I don't know what the chat thinks, but
Philip Rivers, the box, really.
Yeah, nobody's gonna expect him coming. He's got underrated speed off the edge there. I don't know. Maybe that's an over Rams action.
Appreciate everyone tuning on in. I'm sorry if I missed some of your comments here, but I know we got David and Daniel in the house. Good to see you guys here. Dukin's here, 202 NBA. Awesome to see you guys as well. I want to go into this topic here. It's not by any means groundbreaking or anything, but this is the Rams playoff status right now of playoffstatus.com. And we see they're 10-3. They have a 1% chance of not making the playoffs.
Let's go.
Literally, and this is one of my favorite things about this website is this time of year. If you click on Rams clinching scenarios or options. So this week is the first week. There's not like normally it looks like this. There's no clinching cases were found for this spot, like mathematically. Mm-hmm. But if you scroll down, they can clinch a playoff spot, guaranteed at least the 7th seed. Rams beat the Lions. This is the first time. That's how you know, like, oh man, this is crunch time. This is cool.
Yeah.
And so I would love the Rams to clinch, a playoff seed this week. If you look here, obviously you got the Packers, Eagles, Buccaneers, the round out the division leaders, but the team we're all thinking about here is the Seahawks, right? The cool way of saying Seagulls, the Seattle Seahawks. They're 10-3, and I'm so curious to see how the Rams respond. They have this big game with the Lions, and then boom, quick turnaround Thursday night. They got a matchup with a very formidable NFC West opponent in the Seahawks. Yeah. What are your thoughts on just kind of the playoff scenario in general and this NFC West division race we got going on between the Rams, the Seahawks, and quietly like the Niners are kind of there too, but maybe not for the division, but they're a factor.
Yeah. I mean, it's an exciting finish for sure. And this NFC West division is absolutely the best division in football when you just look across all of them. Like this is like what the NFC North was last year. Yeah. And so it's definitely, I would say, like a little bit stressful because you would think that only having 3 losses on the year that the Rams would be far and away the best team in the division in terms of like a good separation in records and everything. But like the Niners and Seahawks are right there with them. But I do like how it still adds a sense of urgency for this Rams team to finish the year strong because they like if you're in a division, I'm trying to think of one that's really bad, like maybe the AFC East, like with the Patriots all those years. Yeah, that's true. The South, that's a good one. If you're in a division like that and you have a large lead on the division, but also the conference, like some teams can tend to coast a little bit. But I do like how there's teams like right on your heels to apply more pressure to this Rams team to continue to win and have the standard be set high. Not that it wouldn't have been before. I just think it's fun because like there could be a lot of mix up between now and the last week of the season for any of these teams in the picture. And just as a football fan in general, I'm excited about that. But obviously, as Rams fans, we're wanting this number 1 seed, and we're just like a month away from that if we can just hold on here. So. Gonna be interesting to watch for sure.
And I'll just close off kind of this talking point here. If we look ahead to the Week 15 games that are the most important to the Rams, obviously the Rams line. It's a huge game. It's rare to see a game over 100. This game is a 114% impact on the Rams playoff chance, like
compared to 32.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's insane.
If they win this game, they have a 60% chance of the number 1 seed, which is so cool. And even like look at it, there's almost no chance they get the 3 or the 4 seed. It's either the 1, 2, or 5 if they win this game, right?
Which is honestly still really solid. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, all you have to do is get into the playoffs, and that's what matters. But like 1, 2, or 5, I would take that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be exciting. This Lions game here is like I've seen people wondering if the Rams are gonna overlook them just because of that huge Thursday night football game next week against the Seahawks. That one's gonna be massive. I don't think they're gonna overlook the Lions and try to prepare ahead. But it's definitely 2 pretty big games, like right next to each other on a short week, and it's gonna definitely dictate a lot of things here, not only in the NFC West division, but just the NFC as a whole.
100%. And I'll just kind of go through here. The Colts and Seahawks is a game to watch. Obviously, the Colts have their own issues going on right now, but who knows? Anything can happen in the NFL.
Rivers?
Titans and the 49ers, again, you never know what could happen. Broncos and Packers, Browns and Bears, Eagles and Raiders, Cowboys and Vikings, Panthers and Saints, Buccaneers at Falcons, and Giants and Commanders, and Texans at Cardinals. Those are the games that Ram fans will want to kind of keep an eye on in Week 15. So that being said, I do want to show you. I saw this and I had to laugh at it. Or do you want to? Oh no, I found it here. Okay, I saw this come up on Facebook. Shout out to Holden Cantor. That here, let me zoom in a little bit. And he said Philip Rivers really saw Matthew Stafford about to pass him in all-time passing yards and said, "Not so fast." As we see here, Stafford is just under 300 yards short of passing Philip Rivers when Philip Rivers decided to make a comeback.
That's hilarious. That's got to be the only reason he's coming out of retirement, right?
I know, right?
I think Sheriff Joe Bag said something in here. He said, "Hot take: Stafford is 277 yards behind Rivers. I say Stafford still passes him after the Seattle game."
Ooh.
I honestly don't think that's a crazy hot take. I mean, like this whole Philip Rivers thing is. I'm just completely curious on how it's going to work out here. But
yeah,
I mean, there couldn't have been a worse draw for Philip Rivers to pull with the Seattle Seahawks defense. And like they're winning games by halftime every week.
Yeah.
And that defense is ferocious. So like, I don't think that's a hot take by Sheriff Joe Bags, but yeah, I'm with you there. I don't think he wanted Stafford to be able to pass him. So he came out just for that sake, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Definitely. Huh. Well, anyway, I'm curious, to see how this game plays out. I'm excited for the Rams versus Lions, and then we don't even have to wait 4 days. We get Rams versus the Seahawks. We in next week is going to be just a good week of Rams football, and I'm excited.
Yes,
for it.
We got 2 Rams games packed into that short span. Those ones, while like it is hard for the preparation standpoint of everything, and like getting your body clock turned around that fast, but like. Those ones when you can get 2 games in that span is always really fun.
Well, and you think of it like the Rams kind of get that mini bye at a decent time, right? Like because you get the Thursday and then a couple of extra days off. Then you have that Monday night game against the Falcons, and then you finish off with the Cardinals, which some people might call bye week anyway.
Yeah, that's true. You think that Monday night gets flexed out?
I don't.
Falcons Rams.
Can they flex the Monday night games?
I have no idea. I
don't think they can. Because it's ESPN, it's different. I think.
Okay, so it's just like Sunday night games that can be flexed.
I think it's only the Sunday nights. I could be wrong. Feel free if anyone knows, correct me in the chat. But I think it stays there at the Monday.
I think you're right too. Actually, I don't think they can switch that. But yeah, either way, like I saw that recently. Looking at the schedule, and I almost forgot that Atlanta game is a primetime game, just given where the Falcons are right now. But we all know it's in primetime because the Rams have their first round pick, and we're going to try to stack up another win there. So, I'm not complaining. It's just that's crazy. That'll be a super long week after playing Thursday night, and then you won't even have to come back and play on Sunday. You'll have that whole week plus waiting till Monday, so you'll have a lot of time to prepare for sure.
Definitely, yeah. I'm just taking a look here. I know it's Wednesday, so you never know. It was nice when we did the show on Friday because we got more like accurate injury updates here. But the Rams often have been winning the injury report this season, which has definitely helped them out. But if we look here, the Lions do have some key injuries here. I'm looking more for like Khalif Raymond.
Kirby Joseph's big.
Kirby Joseph safety, Harper safety, numerous offensive linemen, Decker's injured, Brian Branch, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So that's the Lions, they're a banged up team. They're a banged up team. Right?
Yeah, there's some massive injuries on that team. And like if Taylor Decker doesn't go at tackle for them, I'd be a little bit surprised, but that would also be a huge loss for them because that's where Jared Verse would line up. I expect him to play through it because he has been doing that all year. But Brian Branch, missing him, I don't know if there's been a game. I guess he may have gotten suspended earlier, but there's rarely been games when Brian Branch misses a game, and he does so much for that defense. And then Terrion Arnold, their cornerback, second-year cornerback, he's going to be out as well. And you've just like, obviously Sam Laporta has been out for a while. There's a lot of guys like that where it's like these are big players that are obviously big names that anybody would know about, but they genuinely can impact a game in a massive way. And you would need those kinds of players against a Rams offense like this that is this hot. Like you need as many guys as you can. But what I will say is I've seen this movie so many times with Dan Campbell, the way he motivates his team and gets whoever is out there to play for him. There's been games like even in primetime settings where they're missing like 10 plus guys and they go out and win the football game or at least keep it extremely close. And it's impressive to see what he's able to do, like to instill the belief into them. So even with all these injuries, I'm like, man, like I know that we've seen this before. It doesn't matter who's hurt. You know, he still knows how to coach up a good game. So
yeah, no, the Rams always get people's best, right? We know that. Yeah, especially this year for sure.
And especially this game.
Yeah, a couple of shout outs in the chat. I see Anthony's entered the chat. Good to see you. Lions will speak out the win. Okay, Anthony, we'll see. And then Sheriff Joe, he is saying that it's a new rule this year that Monday night can get flexed out. I did not know.
Oh, interesting.
Thanks for letting us know, Sheriff Joe. But 12 days notice is required. So 13 days, well, maybe no. So there's a chance that might get flexed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Our resident Cowboys fan coming on in. Good to see you. No big game for your boys on Sunday. But yeah, so are you cool if we head on into over Rams action?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Over Rams action Wednesday. If this is the first time that you're here all the way this late in the season, don't worry, I have you covered here. Overreaction Wednesday, or Over Rams Action Wednesday, rather, is basically just a spinoff of what Rich Eisen and Chris Brogman do on their Monday Overreaction segment. And essentially, I'm going to be pitching to Payo Time and to you guys in the chat some things that could be deemed as an overreaction or as a hot take, but they also could be deemed as a fair take or as something that is fair to say. And so it's going to be up to you and Payo Time to react properly to say if it's an over Rams action or if it's a fair reaction. And of course, because it's a Rams show, First Down Rams, everything's going to be revolving around the Los Angeles Rams. But honestly, I feel like that's how it should be in general. So let's do it. Number one, Jared Verse, he has been quietly lately in terms of like the sack production. We all know what he does impacting the game. This is going to be a big game, not only because it's Lions week. The fun fact, Jared Verse, the first sack he ever got in the NFL was against the Lions and Jared Goff. He's going to be fired up. Yeah. He's going to have more sacks than Jahmyr Gibbs has touchdowns on the day.
Oh, yeah. And we you know what? It's funny. How did we preview a Rams Lions game and not even talk about Jahmyr Gibbs?
I don't know. I guess we're not so good at this.
Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is really good at football.
Yeah.
I was listening to Sheriff and Tuna earlier this week, and they were talking about how, like, if you look at this Lions team, I know a lot of people that they think, St. Brown is kind of the scary, and he's a really good receiver, but Jahmyr Gibbs, he is someone that can just take over a game.
Yeah.
I'm is it doing the timer thing again for you?
Yeah, I'm taking it off.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna say that's an over Rams action here.
Okay.
Not that I don't think it's possible. I just think because of the attention Jared Verse commands, it's more likely for like Byron Young or other Rams players to get sacks. Not that I don't think Jared Verse can't get like more sacks than Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm gonna say Jahmyr Gibbs probably scores. He's the most likely Lions player to score like multi touchdowns in a game. So I'm gonna say that's an over Rams action personally myself.
Okay. That's definitely fair. I mean, the Lions use him in a multitude of ways. It's not just running the ball.
Yeah.
I can see it happening. I'm not saying I'm betting on it to happen. I can see it happening though, because I say it's completely realistic for him to get one touchdown, and by that point, Verse would only need 2 sacks. And I could see him waking up for a big game like this. But Striker's Corner says over Rams action.
Yep.
Ram Showcase says, ooh, that's tough. I'll say Verse can get more because I'm a homer, which, to be honest, he's willing to admit it. All of us probably are as Rams fans, but you stuck with a realistic take there. I think
some days I do.
Yeah, depending on your mood.
Yeah.
Verse has half a sack and Gibbs gets 1 touchdown. So yeah, Striker's Corner doesn't agree there. And Goff meets Verse is what Willie Bones says. So that's how we're starting off this over Rams action, number 1. But number 2, we got to get a little bit more realistic takes in here, not just all positive Rams things. So we're going to throw this one in here. Whether the Rams win or lose this game against the Lions, beating Seattle is unlikely due to the opponent. And I'm going to expound on this because I asked this in Sheriff Joe Bag's show for tonight. The Lions have been known as a team to play a team one week, and that team turns around, plays their next game, and there's a crazy record, like they lose the next week almost every time. And this happened a lot last year. And the reason behind that is because the Lions play a very physical brand of football. They beat you up. So even if you win the game, you're going to be exhausted and beat up. And the Rams are going to turn around and play a Thursday night game, short week, and go on the road in Seattle. So it doesn't matter the outcome of this Rams game. Because they're playing the Lions and it's going to be a short week against a good team in Seattle, they're going to lose that game next week.
Ooh, I like your explanation. I like challenging this. I'm gonna say it's an over Rams action just because I agree here with Muabdib. Is it's not that the Seahawks aren't capable of beating the Rams or vice versa, but the Rams have had their number for a long time now, especially with Stafford. And there's something I like about McVay and the Rams late in the season. They're in mid-season form. They've been thinking about this since the summer, right? In this week 15, we got a game on Sunday, and then we got a quick turnaround to the Thursday night game. They're so well coached, they're so well organized on having that. Barring injury, I think that the Rams will go in to Seattle on Thursday night and get a win, right? I personally think it's more likely the Rams would drop the game to the Lions than lose to the Seahawks. And I know that might sound crazy because the Seahawks almost beat the Rams, but there's something about the Rams Seahawks. I like the Rams going into Seattle and getting that win next week, but we'll see. I expect it to be a close game.
Yeah. Mudeeb, over Rams action, Rams own Seattle, as you mentioned. Sheriff Joe Bag says over Rams action. If we lose to Seattle, it has nothing to do with this game. Seattle is really good. And that's definitely a good point, too. It may have nothing to do with this. I just know the history of what the Lions can do to a team. But I'm one of those people that, like, that Thursday night game, I know it's 2 weeks or, like, 2 games from now. It's not this weekend. Like, I'm already pretty stressed for that one because, like, the Seahawks still almost won the game, even with, like, what was it? Darnold threw 4 interceptions. I think he threw 4. They're a quality team. So we'll see what ends up happening. But Muad'Dib says Colts are desperate too. Whoever's going to show up. I love that for the story, but also to help us out. That would definitely be a lot of fun. All right. Number 3, we're getting back into positive stuff here. We're not going to keep it at the negative that we just had here. The The end of this game will end exactly the way the first matchup between Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff ended. And if you guys don't remember, that was when Jalen Ramsey, my guy, intercepted Jared Goff when they were in Rams territory trying to win the game. And I'm saying that happens again this weekend.
End of this game. So Goff throwing an interception.
Yeah. And it would be on like the last drive that they have a chance, like going down the field, maybe in 2-minute drill. Goff throws an interception. That's how it ends.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that's not over Rams action. I think Goff is known to throw an interception or a fumble at the worst time in a game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like Sheriff Joe's even call it's gonna be Forbes that gets it. Okay.
Hey, Sheriff Joe Bags, I can one-up you here and say somehow Darian Kendrick is on the field and gets an interception just for you. He's looking out for you.
What about Troy Reader?
Troy, pick 6?
Yeah, just kidding.
You were never wrong. You were just a little early on the Troy Reader pick 6.
Yeah, if Troy Reader ever gets a pick 6, you know I'm going to make a video about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't think this is an over Rams action?
I don't know. No, I really don't know.
Because I've seen a good variety of what people think this game is going to be. I've seen people think this is going to be a big blowout, and people that think it's going to come down to the wire. Yeah. Some people think it's going to overtime, and other people think it's done by halftime. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this game? Like, do you think it's going to end closer? Do you think it's going to be like, what's the kind of game you're expecting?
Honestly, at this point in the year, with teams that are in the playoff hunt, yeah, I think every game's coming down the wire. I think, despite the injuries that the Lions have, they are a team that has depth, and they've, as you said, they've been proven to get the best out of their players. I fully expect this game to be 6 points or less.
Yeah.
And maybe it's overtime. I am not expecting the Lions are not the Cardinals.
Yeah. Striker's Corner thinks that we're going to smoke them 40-17. I would not disapprove of that at all. I don't know if you remember, and we'll get back on track here, but I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I was confident that the Rams were going to win this game in not necessarily a blowout, but maybe by 10 points or even 14 points. And while I still think that's possible, I've definitely, as this week has happened, I've gotten more to the point where I'm like, I actually think it's going to end a little bit closer. I'm thinking more like 28-24 kind of game. But as long as the Rams win, it doesn't really matter how many you win by. All right. Number 4, coming back down to earth here a little bit again, not staying simply only positive. The Rams have not had a running game test this tough to this point in the season. While we've played good backs like Saquon Barkley, like CMC, Jonathan Taylor, we haven't had a two-headed monster physical team like this that can run the ball. So the Rams will allow over 150 rushing yards to Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery combined. Keep in mind, they let up over 150 rushing yards to the Panthers a couple weeks ago, which different circumstances, but just worth noting.
Well, no, but to be honest, Chuba Hubbard, I know, Canadian doesn't get a lot of respect.
Yeah.
But Rico Dotto and Chuba Hubbard, that's a really good running back tandem, and they took it to the Rams, right?
They did. And their offensive line was super beat up. So
yeah. I don't think this is an over Rams action. And mainly because I actually think there's going to be a lot of yards in this game. Both these offenses can move the ball up and down the field. I don't think that's crazy at all. I don't think it's an over Rams action.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't happen, obviously, because I think the way that the Lions win and beat us in this game is by being able to do quick passing and running the ball really well. And if you can run the ball against any defense that wears them out, it's time of possession. It's kind of like what the Eagles did to us earlier in the year, even though we were up 26-7 at half. Still can't believe we lost that game. But I definitely could see this is the roadmap for the Lions to be able to take this win, is just running the football, quick passes. And that's how teams have beaten us this year, whether it's the 49ers, Lions, Eagles, whatever. But hopefully, selfishly hoping that it doesn't happen.
Yes, likewise. Yeah.
Yeah. Muad'Dib says under Rams defense is anti-run and no Laporta.
Fair.
That's interesting. I actually don't know how good of a run blocker Laporta is. I know he's a really good receiving threat tight end, but I'm not sure how much he actually adds to that run game. But we're going to have to wait and see. Last comment here before we move on again. Rams Showcase says, I'll say over Rams action, but it's because I think they'll get forced into throwing with the Rams' potent offense. I think the Rams can put up 40 plus, so I think the Lions tried to go big plays. And that's a recipe for disaster. If you're doing that, big plays, long developing plays downfield, if you get behind going up against this Rams pass rush and against this defense, I mean, like, that is a formula for disaster. So hopefully we can see that. Hopefully we get some turnovers and some good sacks there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, ending strong here, number 5.
Yeah.
We're going to bring back one that we had against the Seahawks for this one.
Ooh.
The Rams' longest play of this game will be longer than either team's longest field goal attempt this game.
Ooh, yeah, both these teams, they like going for it on fourth down this year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't think that's an over Rams action at all.
Yeah. I think that. Yeah.
Wait. The Rams' longest play will be longer in yardage. Oh yeah, that's not an over Rams action. Yeah, no.
I think that's a good point that you bring up there too about like going for it on fourth, because I mean they could be in range to do like 56-yard field goal, but in a game like this, you may be forced to be going for it more. So
and like honestly, every time the Lions settle for a field goal, and like the rare occurrence they do, and the camera goes to Dan Campbell, he just looks so ticked off of like, can't believe
he does
field goal there. Like
yeah,
like he looks like he's gonna go like punch a cereal box or something.
As you do, punching
Yeah.
boxes.
Yeah,
It's the only logical reaction if the Rams lose. Go find a trick cereal box, punch it, or get your Rams pillow, scream into it. You know, it's yeah, we got some different reactions here. Bacon Bomb says disagree here.
Okay.
So interesting. Good. I mean, definitely fair.
Yep.
Stafford about to throw bombs where Branch would have been. Love to hear that. Would love to see that. This is Sheriff Joe Back says Tutu has to regain his spot with the ... What are your thoughts on this whole Tutu situation, Peo, with like how everything's played out? Xavier Smith kind of taking more of it. Do you think Tutu's going to have a big impact game here before his contract's over? Like, where are you with all that?
I think we might get 1 or 2 big Tutu plays for the rest of his time with the Rams. But I do think, and it's unfortunate just because of the way the injuries kind of impacted his season. But that's, I think that's I think maybe 1, maybe 2 deep passes. I don't see him getting really involved. Maybe we see some sort of trick play where he throws a pass to Stafford or something.
You know, he did used to play quarterback, so
yeah,
that wouldn't be. Do you remember that one against the 49ers last year when he threw it deep to Demarcus Robinson and Robinson somehow didn't get his feet in, but it was a good throw.
It was. No, he had some spin on it. Yeah,
the Tutu train. Yeah, I mean, if we get 2 more like big impact plays from Tutu, I'll be happy. Just because, like at this point, my expectations for him and the role he's going to have is just really diminished. Like, I don't know if I can have big expectations that he's going to come in and dominate, but like I know that if we need him, that he's going to be there and he can make the plays. It's just like, will the Rams implement him enough to have those opportunities? Is kind of the question.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out here to a boy and his dad. Good to see you, my friend. He said, I feel like Blake Corum might get a good amount this week, at least 2 touchdowns. Ooh, yeah. Blake Corum's coming off his best game as a pro. Do you think he continues to, be this, kind of show that breakaway speed that he can have?
Yeah, I think he's only getting better every single week. It's really cool to see Blake Corum get more of those opportunities. It's legitimately becoming almost like a 50-50 split every week now. And I mean, Corum's given you no reason to take him off of the field and like diminish those opportunities. So I could definitely see it. I'm definitely down for more long touchdown runs though from the Rams.
I'm not like picky how the Rams get their touchdowns. Like,
I want to point out to the chat here for those who watched that post game live stream that I was doing. We were talking about like when was the last time the Rams had a run that was that long. Like Blake Corum's one he had against the Cardinals. And ironically, it was Kyron Williams against the Cardinals a couple of years ago. That was 56 yards. But for those of you who were still curious, apparently he was carrying against the Cardinals. So there's something about the Rams against the Cardinals that brings out the best in our running backs.
I love that.
I do too. Maybe they're comfortable in their home stadium, State Farm Stadium. It's just I don't know.
It's the vacation home, right?
It is. If you're getting bored at SoFi, which like whoever would,
Yeah.
you can go to State Farm Stadium for a little break. I don't know.
Yeah. No, let's get Rams football there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's going to do it for the Over Rams action segment.
Great topics. Great topics.
Thank you.
And just so everyone knows, I don't eat a ton of cereal. I don't know why I pictured Dan Campbell punching a cereal box, but it's not. Cereal is safe in my house.
Maybe it's a legitimate thing though. Like maybe you get an empty cereal box. Maybe it would help get some anger out. I don't know.
I don't
know. You should have a spare cereal box for your live streams when the game is going for the Rams. Just be ready to punch it. That might be better than the fake phone calls. People may tune in just for that.
Maybe I don't know. I get some pretty high demand for the fake phone call. So maybe. Oh man. Are you cool if we head on to what's more likely, but it's just the Rams?
Let's do it.
All right. Chat, appreciate you all tuning in with us here every Wednesday where we enjoy talking about the Rams here on First Down Rams. And this is totally a knock. You know what? Some would say knockoff of the Rich Eisen show. Others would say an improvement because we just talk about the Rams. I'm going to give two scenarios, and Rams House is going to say which one is more likely. And you in the chat, we would love if you play along with us and say which of the two scenarios do you think is more likely. All of these scenarios are Rams related or Rams adjacent, and most of them are about the Rams versus Lions this week. So they're relevant. They're relevant here. So what's more likely, but it's just the Rams. Here we go. First one. What's more likely? The Rams versus the Lions is decided by less than 6 points, or both teams run for over 175 yards.
That's a really good one. I could see. I do think that the Rams are going to pass really well in this game with the beat-up Lions secondary, and I think they're going to be able to move the ball really efficiently through the air. And so I'm going to say this game is decided by less than 6 points because I see it being higher scoring, kind of going back and forth with both teams passing the ball really well. And so I don't know if I see both teams running over 175, but both teams have the capable running backs to do so, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. Muad'Dib thinks both teams run. He doesn't think this game's going to be close. Boy and his dad says, give me the 6 points he thinks. Sheriff Joe saying 6 points, but he doesn't think either's going to happen. Okay, fair enough.
Aaron Donald's in the chat? No
Aaron
way.
Donald, the GOAT.
He's got to teach me how to work out because I don't know how, I guess.
Well, if Aaron Donald doesn't see 350 total on the ground, I think maybe we got to agree with him.
Yeah, I think he knows what he's talking about for sure.
Totally. All right. What's more likely? The NFC West title is decided once again by strength of there should be strength of opponent in there. Sorry, my bad, the typo. Like it was last year. Oh, even the 10-second timer is like, no, don't show it.
I don't know why they put that there.
I'm sure there's a purpose for it, but it doesn't work for us. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's more likely? The NFC West title is decided once again for the second year in a row by strength of opponent, or Puka has 2 more multi-touchdown games this season.
I'm going second option. Puka has 2 more multi-touchdowns. It's funny. I almost did that in my over Rams actions, that exact same second part of the one. So I think that Puka is going to start getting some more touchdowns here for the Rams through the air. So that's what I would say. But this would be the year that it'd be decided again by the strength of the opponent, just with how close things are.
Isn't that insane? That because I remember thinking that was crazy last year that it came down to that tiebreaker.
Yeah.
For it to happen back-to-back years for the same exact teams in the same division, That's insane, right?
Yeah, it is. It is super crazy. I wouldn't have and yeah, like you said, it's like the same. I mean, unless the Niners jump the Seahawks, it's literally the same teams again.
Yeah.
So that'd be crazy.
Looks like everyone's agreeing with you for Puka, and Moody's just Stafford needs to spread the ball around here. But wait, Striker, he thinks option one. Okay.
I just have to ask Sheriff Joe here with the way he spelled Puka. Anytime I see it spelled out like that, I think of that clip of Aaron Donald where he's like Puka on the sideline, and he's spelling it really long. Is that what you're saying in the chat like that, or are you just extremely excited about Puka Nacua, or is it both and? That's my question. Yeah, that's a good one.
I couldn't help myself.
I like it.
When we talk about Puka so much, I gotta do the Puka drop. It's just
we definitely need to have more drops for this show.
Yeah, we need an intro first.
We got to start at square one, basically. That's yeah, that little Puka segment right there, that makes me want to run through a wall right there.
Right?
Seeing that.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. I got 4 more here for you. The next one. What's more likely? The Rams defense sacks Goff 5+ times all game, or the Rams offense scores 3 touchdowns in the first half.
I'm going 3 touchdowns in the first half because I have a very specific amount of sacks in mind for this game. I think Rams get 4 sacks.
Okay.
I think that just below there. So I'm going to say 3 touchdowns in the first half. I do feel that. Although if that does happen and my prediction is 24 or 28-21, that would mean the Rams would only, or 28-24, the Rams would only have 1 touchdown in the second half. So that is interesting how that plays out. But I would say second option.
Interesting. A lot of people saying 3 touchdowns. Okay. I actually think both could happen. But I actually think the Rams defense, they're going to have a day on this Lions offensive line. And especially because doesn't it just seem like the most Rams thing ever where like people are hating on them for this thing? Like they're upset. And then it's like, oh, the Rams D-line, they're just going to go sack Goff 5 times this game. Right?
Yeah.
Like I can see it. I can see it.
And their offensive line is beat up right now. I think we could get some good pressures and maybe sacks from Kobe Turner and Braden Fisk because like the interior, that left guard spot has been a big point of weakness for them with injuries. So, I mean, quickest way to get pressure is right up the middle. So I'd be down for that 5+ sacks, but like you said, both definitely could happen.
Okay. We got to talk some Goff and Stafford here. Okay. What's more likely? Goff and Stafford throw a combined 5+ touchdowns, or there are 3 turnovers total in this game.
I'm going first one, 5+ touchdowns combined. That just feels right to me, the way the offense is going to play out. 3 turnovers total. I do feel like we get at least 1 turnover on Goff, like an interception.
Okay.
Maybe that's wishful thinking. That's just kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I'm going the first option.
Okay. I don't think it's I think that 3 turnovers total this game, maybe more. I just think it's going to be one of those weird games that has a lot of back and forth. I see this game having a bunch of lead changes throughout the 60 minutes of it. So, and I also think there's going to be a lot of touchdowns scored on the ground, right? Between David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, you got 4 really good running backs in this game.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different ways this game's going to go, but I think everybody's kind of in agreement that there's going to be a lot of offense for sure. But turnovers definitely could happen. But I kind of like this comment here from Rams Showcase who says combined 5 touchdowns, 4 for Stafford, 1 for Goff.
Love that. Love that.
So down for that.
Okay, maybe that one in my mind when I made that was maybe harder, but now that I see everyone being like, "Come on, that one's easy." 5.
They're making fun of you for some reason. I don't.
They all talk like that too. Like, "Come on,
come on."
Okay, I got 2 more here for you. Let me see if I can do this for you. This was kind of fun. All right. What's more likely? Jahmyr Gibbs has a 30+ yard run in the game, or Puka has a 45 yard plus catch in the game.
I say the Rams don't let up explosive runs, like long runs. It's usually just been by increments. So I'm going to go Puka 45-yard plus catch. Shout out to Puka Nacua being the highest graded PFF receiver in the history of PFF,
Yeah.
coming off a week like that. And he's just, it's crazy. Everybody says he's just like a slot receiver and kind of like what they did about Cup and all of that, but he can do everything. And he legitimately gets a lot of explosive plays for the Rams. The image that just flashed in my mind was when we played the Browns in his rookie year. Do you remember that long post route touchdown? I think that was the longest catch and run of his career. But yeah, I'm going to go with Puka there.
No, that's fair. And the reality is, if you make a habit of picking against Puka Nacua, you're gonna get burnt, right? So
yeah. And the worst part is he'll be smiling at you when he burns you for doing that. Like you're going to feel like vindicated anyway.
He's gonna look like this.
Puka power. I like it.
I just any excuse I have to use the Puka drop, like I got it right.
I think it would be a lot more underwhelming if you didn't have that sound effect in it too. The sound effect just makes it even more like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's like, you know, when Mario gets like a power up in the video game, right? It's like that. Like it's a Puka power up, right?
I will say, if you were to improve the graphic at all, the drop at all, you have to get this Puka Aaron Donald thing. You should put that in there where it pops in, and then you just have Aaron Donald yelling Puka.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta do it.
I dig that. Yeah. And for those of you commenting on my beard, I'm a quarter Irish. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Next one here. Final one here. Okay. This one. And I always try and end off with a good chuckle. Okay. A good hearty chuckle. What's more likely to be shown first? Dan Campbell is shown looking mad at a ref, or McVay is shown fist pumping a big play in that signature.
Yeah, the classic
McVay fist pump. Yeah.
And in his head, he's thinking, that guy's such a stud.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to go McVay showing fist pumping. I think we'll get Dan Campbell looking mad at a ref a little bit later on in the game, maybe like third quarter when it's beginning to really matter. And yeah, I'm going to go McVay.
Okay, cool. Oh, sorry, Joe. Yeah, that comment does deserve. I abandoned that one there. But it's saying fist pump from McVay, first play flags online. Yeah, okay. So Boy and Dogs thinks Dan Campbell. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I like how fun that one is, though.
That is a fun one, yeah. Well, that's going to do it for what's more likely, but it's just the Rams. Shout out Justin. Thanks for coming in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, always a pleasure doing that with you in the chat.
Yeah, these segments get more and more fun every week, and the talking points that come up with it, it's just like, oh, especially big games like this, Rams Lions. Like, I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah. That being said, I know we're starting to come to kind of the end of our show here. What do you got coming out in the next week or so?
Yeah, so I will be clipping out and posting the Over Rams action Wednesday. Had a bit of an issue with that last week. So I'll have that be clipped out for those who didn't catch it live. There's also the surprise video that I was alluding to last week. Should be coming out in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, excited for that one. And then on Sunday after the game, I'll be going live, giving my kind of live reactions to the game. And I'd love to see you guys there too. And just you guys always make it fun, just like tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you?
So I was distracted by something last night, so I did not do my weekly pick'em video. It is recorded, and I'm probably going to drop it probably minutes after we're done this live stream, and then I'll clip out some segments of this, and then of course I'm so stoked to be hosting a Rams versus Lions watch party on Sunday, and then I'll have before and after Rams reactions videos, short and sweet and to the point, shortly after that game.
Not fake.
No, and I still get accused of faking them. I promise. I record them here, go live, end my recording, and then record afterwards.
They're just jealous. That's all it is, Peo.
I guess so, man. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning on in with us. It's always a pleasure joining in here on First Down Rams. And Rams, it's always a pleasure talking Rams with you.
Yeah, likewise. This is one of the most things that I look forward to in a week is doing this with you and you guys in the chat. So appreciate all the support. Appreciate you making the time to do it as well, Peo. And We're back on Wednesday again. It feels normal.
Oh, wait, this is a really good idea. I could just record it at the start of my watch party.
That's a really good idea. That's a
great way. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Boy and his dad, you're a genius. Okay.
That's also an amazing way to end this stream. Like,
definitely. Yeah.
It's a great idea there.
As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out, everybody.
Have a good one.
Thank you very much.